Take it, take it, take it. One to another, everybody. Welcome to the Football Ramble preview show. Brighton march on in Europe and Liverpool host Manchester United this weekend. It's Friday 15th of December. I'm Marcus Speller.
I'm Luke Moore.
I'm Jim Campbell.
And I'm Mauricio Raja.
Oi, oi, everybody. It's Friday and it's bloody good to have you with us. Before we get into the show, though, just a reminder that you can listen to our reaction to the last ever round of Champions League group stage action now. Pete and Andy got together for a Ramble Reacts right after Newcastle selfishly destroyed England's UEFA coefficient on Wednesday, of course. So do scroll down to listen to that episode when you're done with this one. It's incredible, Jim, that we've kissed goodbye the Champions League group stage.
Yeah, they're gone.
Yeah.
I'm sad about it.
I am sad about it as well. It's going to be really weird now.
And the Europa League and everything, it's all change.
It's all change, it is, as Cast would say.
That's right.
It's all change.
But wasn't it great, though, that in the Europa League last night, the British clubs, bar Liverpool, gave us a great display.
Yeah, especially after Newcastle and Man United have banjaxed the coefficient in the
In the,
but
it was an incredible. I mean, obviously Liverpool lost, but not that they cared because they were good. I did love it though, the fact that the goalkeeper came up for the corner at the end. It's like you're fine. You're top of the group.
But do you reckon that Liverpool, as they walked off, just were looking around at Union Saint-Gilloise, who were having an historically great time, and just went, "We don't care."
No.
The difference between us and you, we don't fucking care about this. This is the biggest night of your lives, and for us, it's Thursday.
Why is the goalkeeper going up at the end? Love it.
Yeah, they just want any excuse.
Just get on the score sheet.
What you got to remember is goalkeepers, you have to be a bit mad to be a goalkeeper.
That's right.
You haven't
being a drummer, isn't it?
Yeah, it's a bit. You haven't got to be mad to be a goalkeeper, but it helps.
It does help. It does bloody help.
They're a different breed.
Yeah, I mean, look, even Aberdeen won last night, Luke.
Even Aberdeen.
Yeah.
They've had a tough old group of it.
That's why I said even Aberdeen.
I have to go round the houses to go all the different places. Played the snow a week before last.
But when they came to Aberdeen, Eintracht Frankfurt, no less.
Exactly.
You know, Aberdeen doing Rangers a favour when Frankfurt beat them in the Europa League final. It's nice when Scottish football bands together like that.
As it so often does.
It does always.
Yeah.
Always.
Actually, Rangers, what a win they had in back to the scene of the final.
Absolutely right.
Well, the city of the final.
Yeah, I think that's fine. I don't think you need to clarify that.
Yeah.
People, no one's going to pull you up on that.
No one is.
Not when I'm on the show.
But anyway, the big story, I think, certainly from our perspective, was Brighton beating Marseille and topping the group. An important thing to do because you don't want that annoying little playoff.
You put their feet up to the new year now.
That's right.
I think the draw for the playoff is on Monday, isn't it? So you give yourself an absolute stinker of a game if you're not careful.
Well, you're avoiding the likes of Milan and was it Benfica in there as well? Galatasaray, of course, in that playoff. So it could be pretty big stuff.
Crucially, not Manchester United. Yeah. That's what they're going to say. Here's the teams for the draw for the playoff, and they're going to list all the teams, and they're going to put at the end of their little ball, but it's a red ball that no one can pick.
Yep.
And it just says not Man United on it.
Yeah.
And it's got a little red devil on it.
No, would it not be better to have them in the hat and it pull out not Manchester United, and then you flip it over and it's the actual team in it?
Every single one.
Yeah, it'd be really, really great, wouldn't it?
It would.
Before you go fully into Europa League mode, though, with Brighton, if we're going to be talking about all this stuff in the Conference League, we've got to talk about Aston Villa top in their group as well.
Yeah, we'll get to them.
Okay, we'll get to them. Fine.
Yeah,
Well, I should probably just read the running order. Okay. Sorry about that.
Someone should, didn't they?
My argument is I've never bothered doing it before, so I don't know why I should start now.
That's true.
I've been doing this show for 38 years.
I've been doing it for you.
Pete's argument.
Yeah, that is Pete's argument. Yeah.
But Brighton, they got a massive late winner from that man, João Pedro.
Great goal, by the way.
Beauty,
Yeah, lovely goal.
Absolute beauty. And the scenes of celebration. Roberto De Zerbi summed it up saying, I lost my voice, I lost everything.
Yeah.
Someone's got his phone out there.
Yeah.
But also, he did reference a defeat that his Foggia side suffered years ago in a Serie C playoff against Gennaro Gattuso's Pisa, because Gattuso's, of course, Marseille manager.
Yeah.
And he said, it was against Rino Gattuso I lost the most important game of my career up to now. This win I dedicate to my former players at Foggia who lost the match and to the fans. This game, in a way, closes the circle.
That is terrifying. How much unfinished business is he holding in his mind at any one time if this is some sort of closing of a circle?
Yeah, I assumed that maybe him and Gattuso there was a bit of beef, but there didn't seem to be. I mean, unless I'm missing something.
I think two men like that meeting looks like beef.
It does,
even
definitely.
if it's entirely personal.
Meeting spelt with an A.
Absolutely. And the beef is probably pastrami.
Yeah.
They basically look like two bouncers outside a nightclub.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Who'd you fancy?
it's really difficult.
It's got to be Gattuso.
The obvious
surely.
answer is Gattuso, but I think De Zerbi.
De Zerbi's doing some damage.
He's got a
Big
trick
time.
up his sleeve.
Oi, whoever wins, we lose.
Yeah,
It's like Alien versus Predator.
yeah, that's true.
So that's the greatest tagline of any movie ever, by the
It
way.
is great.
Not a great film. Alien versus Predator. Whoever wins, we lose.
Yeah,
It's great. It's good stuff, guys.
yeah. Work your way backwards to create a film, which they did.
Yeah.
But Brighton finished top of Group B, as we say, and I tell you something. You look at the teams; they could go far in this tournament. They really could.
I think we mentioned that before, didn't we? In terms of
Yeah.
like the scale of their squad, and as you
Well, I'm
said,
doubling
the
down on it,
teams,
Vish.
yeah. Well, fair enough. But you kind of took it as your own thing there. And I'm like,
Yeah.
no, I think we've all agreed on that.
I appreciate when people double down. It's usually with an unhelpful or horrible opinion.
Yeah.
But I think Brighton going far in the
It's quite a
tournament.
nice opinion, isn't it? Yeah,
In your
yeah.
case, it is.
Come on.
I like the way that I think the point I've made before, Vish, which I'm sticking to.
Well,
Because
don't say that on the mic.
sometimes I make points 5-6 months ago that I look back and go, I shouldn't have said that.
Yeah.
With the Brighton thing, I'm going to stick with it, which is that it was really heartening to see how they worked their way out of the group, how they worked it out, playing against European opposition, which is slightly different, playing against, for example, Ajax aren't historic. Ajax aren't doing very well because they go to the Conference League now after this group stage. They're not in a great moment as a European coach using English as a second language would say. But Brighton, a team like Brighton, have to deal with the idea of playing Ajax as much as they have to deal with playing Ajax themselves.
Yeah.
And it's kind of the same with Marseille, who've got an amazing history for the size of club in Europe as well. AEK Athens are no pushovers as well, as we saw because Brighton lost to them at home. I think it was in the opening.
It was
group
well
game.
to lose your opening game, which on
And then they build their way and they finish top of the group, which is an amazing achievement.
an amazing achievement, Jim Campbell.
Absolutely, yeah. And I think we saw with Newcastle as well sometimes, particularly in those away games, teams in Europe can play within themselves a little bit. And it's more, it's not even just playing the idea of Ajax, is it? It's just playing without restriction and playing without nerves. And as you say, Brighton built into that. And this will be, what a brilliant way this is to end the group as well. What you want when you get into Europe, particularly if it's a team, making their maiden voyage, is you want these big names and you want these big nights. You want those memories and you want it to be something to build on. We'll come on to West Ham in a bit. They've done that really well. They're regularly in Europe now. And that's part of the fuel for it. And Brighton have played this perfectly, really.
Well, we wish Brighton all the best. And do we wish them all the best for Sunday? Because they head to Arsenal.
Nah, fuck them.
João Pedro, I mean, talking about, a player that could possibly hurt Arsenal, João Pedro, along with He-Chan at Wolves, has probably been one of the more underrated performers in the Premier League this season.
He's really sort of quietly gone about racking up the goals, hasn't he? I think he's got 11 for the season now. A lot of those in the Europa League are penalties, but,
João Pedro.
count.
Isn't it?
Pal Pendro.
Yeah.
Pau Pendro.
I like it.
Yeah.
So they don't count, is what you're saying.
Yes, that's what I'm saying.
Okay, all right. Well,
So
let's hope,
actually, what a bad season he's having.
let's
Yeah.
hope they get a controversial penalty
Fraud.
against Arsenal because it will piss off Arteta and it will get João Pedro's goals up.
Yeah, I would bloody love to be here, sat opposite Jim on Monday,
Yeah.
and Brighton have beaten Arsenal 3-0, and it's been 3 João Pedro penalties. That's what I'd like to happen.
Do you think
there's any justice.
we'd be able to spend much time on the game after Liverpool 8 United?
Maybe not. No.
See, you're joining in now.
Yeah.
It's basically become
That might be useful.
it's basically become a lobbying. The WhatsApp group's become a lobbying area for Vish to not talk about Man United. I said yesterday, let's not do Man United on Friday because we'll probably do it on Monday. And he was straight away, let's not do it tomorrow. I'll worry about Monday later.
We've spoken about them a lot lately, haven't we?
Yeah.
Little mention for Simon Adingra as well, who's having an absolutely brilliant season.
Yes.
Just, again, so much fun. Brighton don't just unearth like good players; they unearth fun players.
Do you know what I like what they've done as well is that they're getting big performances out of Billy Gilmore because obviously he was at Chelsea. And,
He was brilliant last night.
well, 100%.
Yeah, he looks like he's
success
found a
rate.
home, doesn't he?
Yeah, but 100% success rate in his pass, I think 60 out of 60.
That's amazing.
Which is Harry Winks at Leicester-esque, I would say.
Yeah, and
But-
it's at a higher level as well.
Yeah, but I think, he was at Chelsea, played a little bit, and it was like, he's a really good player. Well, play him. Why, no. With Chelsea, we don't really do that. So, and then he around the house, was he in Norwich? Was he wherever he was? It didn't.
He
quite
was at
stick.
Norwich. It didn't go very well at all.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I mean
Yeah.
that probably was the wider context. Obviously, had that great game against England at the Euros and so on. And as you say, Jim, now it looks like he's got a home. He's playing, and it's great to see.
I don't want to upset anyone, but Opta is saying he had a 97% pass success, not 100.
Well,
Who are you
someone's
going to
lying.
believe?
I believe you.
Thank you.
Yeah. I think we've had enough of experts.
I think we have.
Yeah.
I don't think we need any of that.
I think we're
nonsense.
best off out of Opta.
Yeah, I agree too.
Indeed.
People have spoken.
Yeah, absolutely, yeah. West Ham 7, Freiburg 0.
Great result for the Hammers.
Yeah.
Great result for them.
Are you saying I'm a liar?
I had a different one.
I've it written in UK law that West Ham won that game 7-0. They won 2-0, of course. Sorry about the bollocks, everybody. They avoided a playoff. Because they topped their group as well. Important to do is you don't want that nasty, horrible little playoff.
Moyes was fuming about the idea of even fucking thinking about it.
But brought it in just for this season as well.
Yeah.
Like before completely revamping the Europa League. Why? What's the fucking point?
Yeah.
I know. It's
They're just fucking with us.
it's ridiculous, isn't it?
Yeah.
It is absolutely ridiculous. West Ham, though, they looked in control throughout the game. They were good value for the win. And as you say, Moyes delighted to avoid that muggy little playoff, saying we're going into a really busy period, and our culture means we play a lot of games at Christmas. But it seems that they are squeezing in other games where they can, which seems a bit ridiculous, to be honest.
I think it's always dangerous ground to be saying this, but I kind of agree with him.
Well, you should agree with him because he's one of the three European managers who holds one of the belts.
He is absolutely, absolutely. The only thing I would say to those comments from David Moyes, other than that, is just that they're completely wrong because the playoff hasn't actually happened until February, which by anyone's measure, isn't Christmas.
You get the picture.
If you're doing Christmas in February, you're not in England.
Fine, you're not following the calendar correctly.
No,
but you know what it means though, that there's a busy time, and off the back of that, through the winter, and they just don't want to play it. Damn it all.
No.
Although I mean, you do have it, as I say, that in January you have that sort of staggered fixture system.
They don't want to play extra games,
no.
and I understand why. It's crazy how many games they play already.
Well, also you've got more chance of winning the competition if you face fewer teams.
Good point.
Quite simply, quite simply.
Can't argue with that.
And they want that Europa League.
They do,
and they've got.
I'd love them to go through the whole thing, all the way to Champions League.
Oh, I said this, and it was ridiculed. I did say next season they might win the Champions League.
Yeah,
that's very different.
Yeah. Because that is nonsense.
Okay. But it is possible, is it not, Vish?
Vish doesn't give a shit about the Champions League anymore.
Vish, answer this, yes or no? Is it?
What's it called?
Is it possible?
Never heard of
is it within the realms of possibility that West Ham could win the Champions League next year?
No.
Okay. Fine. Get out the house, you're a liar. Freiburg fans seem to be having a nice time, though. Started singing Last Christmas in the crowd, but that doesn't knock everybody out. That's not Whamageddon.
No.
It's not Whamageddon.
It's not the recording.
No.
It doesn't count.
No, it doesn't count at all. It's like trying to sing into Shazam. Doesn't work.
You can't lose the game just by hearing someone say "Last Christmas."
Yeah,
depends how many of them.
Yeah.
If it's over 5,000 people who are singing it, I think that's fair.
The
I don't know
undercurrent,
if 5,000, probably not.
The undercurrent of all this is like every single time like a British football fan has any kind of exposure at all to a German element of fan culture, they're always like begrudgingly, "Oh, it's really good, isn't it?"
Yeah.
They're always having a really good time.
How do they know our language?
Yeah, they know our language. They don't get ripped off.
Yeah.
It seems like a nice day out for everyone.
Let's learn German and give it back to.
I can't be fucked.
They understand us anyway. You're shit, and you know you are. West Ham will host Wolves this weekend.
And how's Gary O'Neill going to steal the thunder? That's what we want to know.
Yeah.
Hopefully, just by winning the game. For
Hopefully.
those who are partial to a bit of Gary O'Neill's Wolves.
Yeah, I think we all are, aren't we?
He's the alpha. He's the alpha of the pack, isn't he? At the moment,
Would you say
I would say. I mean, he has to be.
he's the manager?
Yeah, absolutely.
To be.
He does have like a woodland type quality to him, doesn't he?
Think so,
Like an
yeah.
athletic.
He's
Like
not
he
an
was
intimidating-
raised by wolves.
He's not an intimidating. Well, Portsmouth. He's
Yeah.
not an intimidating man. He's not actually from Portsmouth. He's from South London, but he came to Portsmouth very early.
Right.
He learned how to fight in Portsmouth.
Oh, big time.
That suggests some sort of
You
like
were so
medieval
proud
style
of that.
banishment.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you know how I know he learned how to fight in Portsmouth? Because he's still alive.
Yeah.
Because he's still alive and kicking.
Yeah.
He is got a woodland quality to him, and he's almost a bit like a scraggier Santi Cazorla in that way.
Yeah.
Cazorla looks
Gary
like
O'Neill.
because Cazorla looks like a woodland creature, but quite a fluffy, nice one.
Yeah, like a little chipmunk.
Gary O'Neill will steal all your acorns.
Oh, I see what you mean.
Because Orla's got a bit of like fantasy magic about him, doesn't
Definitely.
he? He's a bit elfish as well.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
No, O'Neill's not elvish, is he?
No, Gary O'Neill's like if he ran over a fawn. That's what he looks like.
Yeah.
Jorginho is, of course, the ultimate fawn.
Yes.
Yeah, he is.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Getting a little bit sexual now, Jim, isn't it? Close on the ultimate form.
Getting.
Yeah.
Aston Villa got a draw. They got a draw, and they topped their group as well. On their way, surely, to Europa Conference League glory.
Are we just mentioning all the English teams that win and how they're going to win that competition? now?
Yeah.
Well, we
Fair enough.
think.
Like, what's your problem?
We think. Do you not think that Andy Brassel makes this point in a serious way, and people like you don't question it?
What, you mean the
'Cause he talks about
financial-
budgets? And
Yeah,
talks
yeah,
about
yeah.
and so it's a generally considered thing that actually, if you're an Aston Villa or a West Ham, maybe not West Ham because Europa League's probably a bit tougher, but if you're Aston Villa and you don't win the Conference League, you fucked it basically.
Yeah. But it feels a little bit like if someone asks you to set them up with one of your mates, it's like, oh, he's a brilliant lad, he's brilliant.
Yeah.
And obviously you just don't see what he's actually like.
Are you talking about yourself here?
A little bit.
Sometimes,
A little
yeah.
bit,
Okay.
yeah.
I think sometimes when I watch Aston Villa play, I think they're the best team in the world. They look so good.
But
Not last night.
No, not last night. No.
I mean, they fielded.
I'll be totally honest with you. I didn't watch them last night.
No, why would you?
Yeah.
There is something to be said for that because the way they're playing and certainly the way that they, like, the underlying numbers, behind the wins and the goals they're getting is like a real sense of like they're playing different football.
Yeah, they're practicing grinding, aren't they?
Yeah.
In the
yes.
Conference League.
Yeah. Which they did really well against Arsenal.
Yeah.
And they're so adaptable as well.
Yeah.
And they've got exciting players going forward as well. They can kind of do it all. Anyway, Aston Villa, what a loving.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah. No, all agreed.
Sorry to Aston Villa fans because they'll almost certainly get beaten by Brentford away this weekend. Now we've said that.
I don't know that they will, though. This is the sense with them. It feels a bit different, Villa, doesn't it? Like they've got a lot of momentum and they've got a lot of versatility, as you say, as well.
I love the fact that they signed Nicolo Zaniolo, who scored last night.
Yeah, you can sometimes forget he's there.
Yeah, keep forgetting he's there.
I mean, he scored the winner, of course, in the inaugural competition of the UEFA Conference League. Smart move from them because
when Jose unified the belts.
That's right.
Amazing. He's got amazing pedigree, Zaniolo.
Yeah.
He's linked with massive clubs at one point.
Well, I think he left Roma for Galatasaray.
Yeah.
He's on loan at Aston Villa. But, if you're in that competition, you think, we need a man who knows how to win it.
Big time.
And they've got him in there.
Yeah. Oh, well, who have they got in the big chair as well? He knows how to win a European competition. That's a factor.
He hasn't won this one yet.
Because it literally didn't exist when he was having his amazing time.
So I'm right. Anyway.
Yeah. On behalf of myself and everyone listening, sorry about that, Marcus. Yeah.
Apology accepted. Now we move on to the Premier League. Of course, Spurs versus Nottingham Forest this evening. Little Friday night football.
I absolutely love. I know that when I've got a certain hat on, I talk about how like certain things are kind of sacred and we shouldn't be doing this type of thing, and it's annoying having football every night. And then it comes to a Friday, and I've had a long week, and I think, do you know what? Great.
Yeah.
I'll happily watch a Premier League game when I've got nothing on a Friday night. That's a fantastic treat.
This has huge barn burner qualities.
It does.
Or potential, rather.
Well, I said last week on the mailbag, that I'd like to see much more unified 3 p.m. kickoffs across the Premier League.
You don't want anyone to be able to watch any football ever.
Well,
is that what you were saying?
Not quite.
All of it
Jim,
at 3
actually.
p.m.
Had you have listened to what I was
No,
saying?
I
won't listen.
I agree with Jim, and you should answer the question.
I thought Jim made quite a salient point there.
Okay, well, it's
about
there
your
for,
opinion.
It's there for. All right, and that's where we are in this country right now. I was saying, of course, that you should get rid of the blackout and everyone at 3 p.m. kickoffs, and I think that's it. But of course, inevitably, due to Europa League fixtures and all, you would have some games on a Sunday and whatnot. But Friday nights, you just get the odd Brucey bonus.
Yeah, that's what it feels like.
Exactly, and that's tonight. So you do have that once in a while, and it's at the City Ground. The home form of Forest has not been too good of late. They started the season sort of fairly well. But barn burner quality, Jim, is something that we all want to see tonight.
Absolutely, yeah. There's a phrase that gets used a lot in games like this, which is like, it's going to be great under the light. It's like, you can see every game of football. It's all under some sort of light in some way. But for some reason, particular fixtures, it feels like the lights are going to make more of a difference.
Yeah.
And for some reason, this is one of them.
And also, sorry, Jim, to cut in, I was going to say the Brennan Johnson factor.
That's exactly what I was going to say. Yeah.
Right, okay.
I'd quite like to see him turn full heel tonight
same.
because he
He
seems
won't.
like a really lovely young
Nice
man.
boy, yeah.
I would like to see a different side to him tonight.
Yeah,
where he's just an absolute dick for no
I'd like to
reason.
see him fucking go into the into this Forest penalty area, the first Spurs attack, and while they're waiting to take a corner or something, rip up the turf and just shove it in his mouth, and look at the fans behind the goal, the Forest fans, and just chew on the grass, intensely staring at them, and as the ball comes in, wet himself and score.
Yeah,
and then when he scores, run into the crowd, point downwards, just go down.
Down.
That's you.
But he's
This
also
is you.
pointing at his
down.
wet pants.
Yeah.
While kissing the badge with his mouth full of turf.
Why would wetting himself make him look? That would surely undermine everything.
No, it's not because what he's saying is, I've not only forgotten about you lot, I've gone fucking mad.
Oh, I see.
Yeah.
But then they won't
Mad
take it
through indifference.
And then Forest will get relegated, and they'll go, at least we ain't got to play against that fucking maniac again.
Yeah, but then that will because if he's trying to like put across that he's gone mad, then they won't take it as personally when he kisses the badge. So
True.
I think he would have gone a bit too far if he wet himself.
No, I think it's fine. I've thought about it, and I still think it's fine.
I think what he should do actually is pull a P45 out of his shorts and hand it to Steve Cooper. If he scores a goal.
Out of his shin bad.
That is naughty and cold, Jim.
I think also what I would to take it to a semi-serious position, if I may, for a second.
I wasn't that serious.
No,
Well, who took it to that unserious place in the first place?
I think it's a shit himself. No, I look at Nottingham Forest and I see so many players that I enjoy watching play. And although Spurs have come out of that little funk they're in by getting a win and a good win as well, it's tempting because, you know, the narrative about Spurs generally has been they're a really good team and they've got this identity and they're going to do great things under Postecoglou. One game of a win after 5 without a win doesn't make that automatically everything fine again. And as Jim's already alluded to with this under the lights chat, it could be tough for Spurs tonight. And I think if Forest can really make a go of it and give themselves a famous night, it could very well save Steve Cooper's job, because we know Marinakis to be a kind of bit of a mad character who acts a lot on emotion. He might sit there and go, "This is fucking brilliant. I'm going to stick around for a while."
Also, the players absolutely love Steve Cooper. They talk about it a lot. We know that that's legit and genuine. And he has been very good, actually, and they've been very good at getting a win in situations like this where they need to relieve a little bit of pressure. So it's probably a bit extreme to say that they thrive on it, but they do have experience of it, and it makes them a really dangerous, probably quite tricky opponent.
Yeah, I was going to say similar, Jim, that this is the time now for these players to really show they're playing for the manager. Because as you say, if you like him, you know what the owner's like, and it's not just because of the owner; it's also the reality of the Premier League. You lose in a handful of games, you look like you're not pulling up any trees soon, and they are the tricky trees, lest we forget. And you know, managers are fired. I mean, this season's been a bit of a strange one
because we haven't had as many.
Yeah, I mean, having said that, though, I'm sure people will say, "Well, actually, 2 seasons ago, or you know," but we're used to managerial sackings in the Premier League.
See that undermining things our listeners might say.
Yeah, exactly. You can't
really
say that.
We stave them off before they turn up, Jim.
Yeah, yeah.
So yeah, I think but Spurs are favourites. I mean, that's,
of course,
not be silly, you know. Interestingly, though, after 16 matches, Spurs have exactly the same points total and even goals scored / conceded as they did last season under Antonio Conte.
I mean,
maybe it's not that good, Jim.
16 matches is quite a small sample size.
I think it's a reasonable sample. No, it's a reasonable sample size.
Jim, I've been a big supporter of you over the years, but I agree with Marcus.
Surely that's a reasonable sample, isn't it?
I think
so. If they'd have lost all 16, well, come on, it's early days.
Of course, but I think the implication of the comparison there is about not the seasons, but the respective reigns of Conte and Postecoglou, and it implies that we can expect more of the same sort of chaos under Postecoglou that we saw under Conte, and I don't think that's likely to be the case. I think the injuries Spurs have been obviously a massive contributing factor to their poor run of results lately, and also the kind of there was a definite new manager bounce element to their run at the start. So I still don't really know who they are under Postecoglou.
It's also the type of football.
Yeah,
you don't know who they are.
I know who they are, Jim. Do you want me to tell you?
Mm-hmm.
They are Ange's brave boys, who, despite everything that happens and all the kind of bad fortune that comes their way, they will have a go.
Sometimes get 1 point in 5 games.
It's who we are, mate. It's who we are, mate. I know, yeah, he can't resist it, can he?
Have
we got any Arsenal coming up in the second half?
How many manager of the month
so that's why he's having
Mikel Arteta won this season?
I don't know, actually.
Right, okay.
Do you imagine the celebration he'd get if he won Man of the Month? Fucking stave Gary Cottrell's head in with it. Hopefully.
Oh dear.
Fucking windmilling into Jeff Shreves with fucking 2 manager months. 1 manager of the month awarded one now, one on the other round, the third one down his pants.
Yeah, Shreves is
and one just outside the technical area for Richard Keys.
Exactly, yeah. It'd be like an NME Brattlewell with the middle finger up to Richard Keys.
Good. It could be the Serge Aurier derby tonight. He might be back after missing the last.
I think he's injured,
with the calf problem. Well, there's a chance he might be back. It would be good to see him, wouldn't it?
Well, I mean, speaking of it would be good to see him because, he is someone who's got a bit of an X factor about him. But if you're talking about injured Forest players coming back, the player they need back is, of course, Awoniyi.
Yeah.
And that's been a big factor for them. He started the season well. He was scoring goals. He got injured.
They'd be a massive player for them. Yeah.
And it's not always just down to one player, of course. But, I mean, in the Premier League, it's important, obviously, to have someone who can not guarantee you goals, but can finish chances.
Yeah.
And Forest, off the top of my head, they lost one ago in that run they're in at the moment. One of them they lost 3-2, so they scored goals there. They drew 1-0 with Wolves, didn't they? They got hammered by Fulham. They didn't score at all. So
they lost a couple 3-2. They lost to West Ham and Brighton 3-2.
That's right.
Yeah. Okay. Everyone's getting hammered by Fulham lately, aren't they?
Big time.
Even Liverpool. And they won that game.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
Before the break, everybody, a reminder that the Ramble mailbag has gone weekly. So we're bringing you a brand new Ramble Mailbag show every single Saturday, as if it couldn't be greater. Your Saturday, everybody. We're there with you. So do join us tomorrow. It promises to be a blooming cracker.
Yeah, this week we're going to do aspects of old school football that have been overly romanticised. And we're going to do players that we wish we'd see in the flesh or had signed for the clubs that we support, and one or two other things as well. Should be fun.
Should be a lovely old time. Right, let's have a quick break.
Human beings sometimes need to get punished.
Welcome back to the Football Ramble, everybody.
It's just, could I just say, at the risk of sounding xenophobic, that's funnier because it's a German accent with English.
Definitely.
There's something about the German accent that makes it funny.
Something very, very naughty and sexy.
Big time.
Also, just imagining his eyes and like mouth when he says, "I probably shouldn't have gone into that much detail." But his face, essentially.
That says to me, that the way he said that says to me, I grew up in a country where they have porn on telly during the day.
During the day.
They do. In some parts of continental Europe, you get like soft porn on TV during the day. Or you used to. You used to.
Watching it while eating your grapefruit and your breakfast.
Yeah.
Is that why Pete goes on holiday all the time?
There's
to
an
like
element-
Dortmund and places like that?
That's why Pete has a Fire Stick, so he can see these channels. Yeah.
It's obviously complete bullshit, but there was an element, wasn't there, when we were growing up, of our generation where you'd think that like Germans were all a little bit like, they loved it. And they'd walk around their house
They love
naked. Like,
this. I still think
a lot
that.
of rubber, a lot of latex.
yeah, that kind of thing.
Oh,
Yeah.
they love it, Jim, don't they? That lot over there, they love it.
I love the Germans. I think they're like a better version of British people.
You love them, they love them.
Yeah,
it's a
they
lot of
love
love.
They love it, exactly. Yeah.
It's a lot of love, yeah. Now, Liverpool versus Manchester United. A lot of love
That's
between
stop
these
fish
two.
laughing,
Yeah.
isn't it? just that one sentence.
You were lulled into a full sense of security.
I was,
this
yeah.
first
Can we
half,
talk?
weren't you?
I never thought I'd say this. Can we hear more from Lou?
Sunday at 4:30 p.m. Now, are you pleased that you can have a good weekend?
Oh,
and
we
then you
can look forward to it.
Or is it worse that there's a big old run up to it? Would you prefer it in the early morning, early
Oh, you
Saturday?
prefer it tonight, get it done.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Get it
While like most people are out, you know, just
Yeah.
get it done.
Yeah.
Or 12:30. It's just the idea that it's just there waiting for you.
Yeah.
It's basically the Monday feeling, but on a Sunday afternoon, isn't it?
And also, given that Liverpool basically phoned it in last night
Yeah.
because of this, they're all going because and one of you guys mentioned this thing earlier in the week. It might have been on the Wednesday show, could have been on Monday, where or maybe even last week, doesn't matter. Where you talk about how when Man United just go to this place where they're embarrassing themselves, they somehow, I think it was you who said it, they'll probably get a sneaky win against Bayern Munich or something.
That's right.
They'll find it and they'll do a 1-0 or they'll get a creditable 1-1 draw.
Yeah.
And I thought, maybe they'll do this here at Anfield. Then I looked about what happened last season.
Yeah. You're like, no, probably not.
Probably
But-
won't.
but
Also,
that-
they're missing Bruno Fernandes as well. Not that he was much help last season, but they've got a lot of players out. There is massive potential for this to be awful. And we obviously spoke about Man United's trials and tribulations a lot on Wednesday. But there was so much to talk about. We didn't get to talk about that absolutely horrendous rondo they did that went viral. I don't know if anyone's seen it. It's
I've
them
seen it.
attempting a rondo. It looks like a bunch of just drunk people.
Well, Jim, someone tweeted us said, this looks like the Football Ramble doing a rondo.
I think
Offensive.
I think 4 passes was the most put together in that clip.
Yeah, because
It's
normally when you
absolutely
see
astonishing.
normally when you see like top teams doing that, it's like a game of pinball.
It's
or
a
something.
blur,
It's-
yeah.
It's
Like
ridiculous.
the clip of England from the last international
Yeah,
break
yeah.
with Rico Lewis and Cole Palmer. Yeah.
Yeah.
But this one is being administered by Steve McLaren. And he's obviously an excellent coach. He's got a great reputation as a coach. But you could see in the background he was shouting and getting a bit. He was basically tearing his hair island out. He was fuming
Yeah.
about how bad it was.
Why did he have a brolly up?
Yeah.
It wasn't even raining. But yeah, so Manchester
Is that carefully edited? Is it like one of those things where they did 2 or 3
Possibly,
and it fucked it and people? That's what people.
Well, actually, wasn't it from the club's channel?
No, it's Randy Mitten who does a lot of Man United stuff.
Right.
So actually, it probably wasn't carefully edited actuuld because he wouldn't do that. 'cause
It
he's a big
doesn't
Man United
matter.
fan.
The fact is that happened. We saw it, and we're going to run with
I
it.
was there.
Yes.
I saw it.
What do you think of this, Fish? Reports have emerged that Sir Jim Ratcliffe has met with Graham Potter, who apparently would be his preferred replacement should he sack Erik ten Hag.
So as it kind of fits with what Ineos have done, particularly in cycling, in that they try and make
What, High Graham Potter?
well they
He's
try
been
they,
fucking well busy.
they try and make they try and basically recruit people that they see fits in with their general vibe of like looking for marginal gains and all that kind of stuff. And they probably see that with Potter because he'll be not as expensive as going and getting, say, say for example, buying out De Zerbi from Brighton or whatever they choose to do. I'm kind of numb to it a bit because it's quite. We spoke about it a bit on Wednesday, but like with this, with that takeover being kicked down the road a bit, it kind of the vacuum above Ten Hag continues on, and it's unlikely that he's going to be sacked after this. But when they come in, they might do the thing of like, right, we're cleaning house. He's going, and Ten Hag will be one of those. Yeah, Potter's a funny one. I'm a little bit surprised he's been out of management for so long. But then saying that, he did specifically say that after the Chelsea job, he wanted to like take stock of everything and choose his next move wisely, which makes me think he might say no.
Yeah. I mean, it is a strange choice if the reports are true, and it does kind of suggest a little bit more of the same kind of chaos because it doesn't seem like a good fit at all, does it? Especially after what happened to Chelsea. Well, and I know the situations aren't exactly comparable, but it is a big club in an amount of chaos.
But tell me a manager who would fit.
Well, I was about to say,
maybe that's it.
It's funny because in this country,
Alex Ferguson.
Yeah, well, in this country, we would say, well, that's ridiculous, because England doesn't produce any really top level managers. I know Eddie Howe's done very, very well, and
having a dig at Southgate, isn't he?
Yeah.
At club level, I should say. At the international level, it's all there to see. No, so Eddie Howe's is an obvious one. There's one or two others. Gary O'Neill's doing right, but I mean, in terms of top level, because we take a country like Italy, where they obviously produce a very high level of coaches. The thought of somebody going from a club of, say, Brighton size to a club of Chelsea size or Manchester United, it's not that uncommon.
No, they flit around clubs all the time.
Yeah, they do. No, I understand that. That we always talk about the money in the Premier League and go down to the Championship, and it's a very different league to Serie A in a lot of respects. So I get that. I actually don't think it's ridiculous that he's talking to Potter. I understand that Potter didn't do very well at Chelsea, but Pochettino, who's very well respected, is not doing that well at Chelsea at the moment either. Actually, I just quite like to see what Potter could do in different circumstances, because he's obviously a good manager. Like, look what he did. Look at his CV. I'm not sure Manchester United is the place though, because it's such a basket case.
I mean, but I do rate Potter as a manager. Yeah. But if you bring him in the same way that if you bring anyone in, you've got to sort out everything around it, haven't you?
Well, of course.
Like if you're going to you put in a director of football, maybe a technical director who can focus a bit more on like player recruitment and actually do it properly, rather than just say, right, here's 86 million for that lad.
Exactly.
You had in your team last time.
It just feels like such a big, unwieldy beast that no one singular appointment can fix in any amount of time.
Yeah.
Like, ultimately, the fact that Ratcliffe is talking to Potter, if that's to be believed, is quite an interesting thing. And I think Potter, I echo what you guys have said. He's a good coach and everything, but it's a massive challenge. And ultimately, no one can be successful there. No one can realistically be successful there to a good level that Man United are expected to be successful at, as players or managers, until the whole thing is sorted out.
Yeah,
so they patch that hole up in the roof.
That's part of it, isn't it?
Maybe Potter's pretty handy with the DIY.
Could be.
But would that be part of the job interview? You're walking around the stadium going, right, so you sign him, going, see that hole up there? There's a toolbox. What are you doing?
I'm an old school manager. I want control of everything.
Throw this pen out the window. Oh, he's done it.
Jadon Sancho walks past with a tool belt on.
Oh, yeah, he'd be for Potter coming in. Anybody in, I suppose.
But seriously, this is the kind of game on Sunday tea time that someone like me, who has no vested interest in either of the sides, will be so looking forward to, because there's a chance it could be an absolute car crash.
Yeah.
Well, if you look at the way that...
Like it was last season.
Yeah, if you look at the way Liverpool are playing, they are... United won't get near them in midfield. And they're like... that trio they have there, and... I suppose Trent Alexander-Arnold is the one who gets the most praise, but someone like Szoboszlai as well, who... He's not been underrated, actually, because a lot of people have been talking about how well he's doing, but this could be a defining moment for early on in his Liverpool career, just like bossing a game like that, where it's not to say that he'll have to do much out of the ordinary, but at home in front of that crowd in this kind of game, which still has the historical relevance, even if United have really fallen off a cliff, that this could be a real definer for him. And he's just such a good player to watch, and strands of Gerrard in there as well.
If you look at that right flank that Liverpool may line up with, it could be Alexander-Arnold, Szoboszlai and Salah against a kind of historically out of form Marcus Rashford, who'll play off the left maybe. Diogo Dalot at left back, who is, I think is capable but doesn't show it very often, and then Amrabat on the left of midfield.
Yeah,
that's a mismatch.
Mm.
That's a bloodbath.
But there are mismatches. There are mismatches all over the field.
That's the T-Rex getting out of the fucking unelectrified fence in the paddock in Jurassic Park.
So are United the guy who sat on the toilet?
100%.
Yeah.
Gennaro, the lawyer. Yeah.
How do you remember that?
That's his name. And they are going to munch him.
Yeah.
He's going to get munched. They're going to be fighting. This Liverpool, if it goes the way, if it starts to go, because from memory, the 7-0 last season, I don't think Liverpool scored their first goal till just before half time.
Yeah, Gakpo, yeah.
And then they blitzed them in the second half.
And they scored late in the first half and then early in the second.
And Man United are worse now than they were then.
Yeah, definitely. United were in a decent run then. I think with the suspension of Bruno Fernandes, we're going to be in a situation where Manchester United are just not going to go toe-to-toe with him. I think we saw a little blueprint for that in the first half of the Bayern game, but it basically just means they're just not going to do anything going forward.
Yeah, I think the injury to Maguire meant that Manchester United are definitely not going to get anything out of this.
There's a weird sense with this where if
what a take.
Yeah.
There's a good take.
Yeah.
There's a sense though that if Man United lose this, say 4-0, that it's
Jim,
not that
Jim,
bad.
they've dodged
I
one.
would,
Do you know what I mean?
I would
Jim,
take,
offer it to him.
I would take 2-0.
Yeah.
No, fuck off.
No,
You're not
no.
having two.
You're not having
You can't tell me
2-0.
what can and can't have. I would take 2-0.
No, that's poor.
Please.
Would you take 3-0 now? 3-0 and 2 of the goals in the last 5 minutes.
You should take 3.
Depends how I'm
If I
feeling
was
on
advising
Sunday.
you, which I am, you should take 3.
No, I'm going to settle for 2. That's my final offer, 2-0.
No, it's a flea deal.
You should settle for 3. I appreciate 4.
I didn't do it. It's 2-0.
All right.
Listen, if it goes the way we think it may go, there are Liverpool players on Sunday tea time who are going to be picking Man United out their teeth.
Is it?
People are putting bets. Genuinely, people are putting bets on 8-0.
Right.
Love that. Jim, who's currently top of the Premier League?
It is Liverpool.
It is Liverpool. Not that many people, I don't think, have been talking about them in terms of the title.
No.
Is it
I
because
bet Liverpool fans will be very understanding about that.
They're
though.
very
Yeah,
understanding?
they won't
Yeah.
mind.
I don't think that's true.
Well, okay. Why is that then? You've been listening to
because
Liverpool
people,
media.
because people have been talking about them for the title.
I think though that there's been.
I think it's just that they haven't been top until last week.
Yeah, no, obviously been top. I mean, they've still been in it. I suspect that well, my sense that maybe people haven't been talking them for the title as much is because they still remember last season. I think people still compare them to the those glory
Title-winning team.
Yeah, the title-winning team and the Champions League winning side. That bulletproof Liverpool side. It was utterly incredible, one of the best we've ever seen.
Yeah.
And also earlier in the campaign, Liverpool, there was a few sort of fortuitous wins, I suppose. Even though now they're up and running, so I mean they've won 18 points from losing positions this season.
I saw that. It's a mad fact.
Which is incredible.
Which is almost half their points.
Yeah, but I think though, and of course they won those points, and it shows character and it shows all that. But I think maybe subconsciously or something, people think they were, but we've seen them go behind a lot.
Exactly.
If you see what I mean.
Yeah,
that's definitely a factor.
Yeah,
I think that's definitely part of it. I kind of agree. I think you've both got a point, really. Sometimes the Premier League and all the media that surrounds it, certain things get embedded in the public's consciousness about little stories. Like Aston Villa would be one, for example. The Everton points deduction has taken a lot of heat as well. Man City dropping off and having a quite poor run of form, which has coincidentally happened at the same time. Liverpool have really started to hit their straps. All that type of stuff does factor into it. I also think there's an element of chaos about this season, informed by the amount of players that are injured because there's so much football happening. So if you look at you mentioned like Man United might have a lot of players out. I think they're going to have possibly 11 players out for injury. Right,
13 at the time of recording. Yeah, I think so. Ten Hag's about to give an update.
But one of those is Fernandes, who's suspended, not injured.
Yeah, right. So 13 unavailable players.
Okay. And then, but even Liverpool have got 6 players who just got it here: Joel Matip, Thiago, Andy Robertson, Diogo Jota, Bajcetic is an exciting young midfield player, and McAllister they bought for a lot of money. Doesn't really register. Like 6. I remember 5 years ago, if a team was going to a game this big and had 6 players, and 5 of which were key players out for injury, that would be a story. It's just not anymore.
5 of those players who could walk into the opposition team.
Yeah. Well, let's not get down that road. I mean, you would be here all day.
No, but I mean, those are the people like out. We'll take them now.
Yeah. Joel Matip's only got 1 leg. We'll take him. Yeah.
Well, speaking of injuries, gentlemen, we've got to move on to Newcastle United versus Fulham.
Another team who've got massive injuries. Yeah.
And suffered yet more injuries in that defeat against Milan, with Anthony Gordon coming off and Kieran Trippier.
The Trippier one was a kindness.
Yeah, although, I mean, Trippier, was he suspended anyway?
Mm-hmm.
He certainly won't be playing against Fulham. So, yeah, Eddie Howe said Gordon had, previously sort of been aware of his hamstring, not being quite right.
Who was aware of his hamstring?
Anthony Gordon.
Thank you.
All right.
Right.
And, of course, this is bad news for Newcastle because Fulham are pulling up into town, having a lovely old time. Consecutive 5-0 wins against West Ham Forest. Currently the team to beat in England. So
16 goals in 4 games, Marcus.
Jim.
Fucking Godzilla of the Premier League.
Yeah, I'd say so.
They are the Godzilla of the Premier League.
I reluctantly agree with you. So, what do you think, Jimmy? I mean, Newcastle, on paper, with everybody fit, the better side, and statistically, higher in the league and so on. But with that Fulham form that you can't deny, and those Newcastle injuries, I'm thinking 3-0 Fulham.
3-0. We're going to come on to what I think about this.
Now we should be taking a 3-0.
Little preview of that. I think Fulham will get a point here because Newcastle, they look obviously pretty fatigued. They've played a lot of football. They've got the injuries that you've spoken about, but they do still have goals in them. And Callum Wilson's back now, isn't he? And obviously he's a threat. I think this is going to be tough because it's a really, really tough place to go, isn't it? We've seen they've made it horrible. They've made it this absolute fortress of bastards, and teams wilt there a little bit. So I think that those two factors will combine for a draw.
I would also add, and regardless of what Marcus says, Fulham have had no real showpiece results away from home this season. The only exception would possibly the opening day where they beat Everton.
A draw at Arsenal wasn't bad.
Yeah.
Okay, that's 2. But generally speaking, they do all their good work at home, don't they?
Well, now's a chance.
Now is a chance.
You see?
Every game is a new chance.
Exactly.
To make a name for yourself.
Damn right it
But
is.
It's lovely to see Raul Jimenez back amongst the goals.
Oh,
Obviously,
yeah.
we've all been hoping that would happen. And also Tom Kearney back
Well,
waving his wand of a left foot.
We
controlling the play.
We could talk about Tom Kearney. It should be a Patreon special. Marcus talks about Tom Kearney for half an hour every week. He'd never run out of things to say. No.
Have you ever met him?
Never met him.
Be an 18 certificate, but he'd never run out of things to say.
It'd mostly be him going, well, Tom Kearney.
Yeah, no, it'd be fan fiction.
Yeah.
Oh, come on.
It would be fan fiction.
Honestly, that left foot is one of the best in the Premier League.
You don't want to know where it's going in
more of
Marcus'
that.
fan fiction, that left foot, I'll tell you.
Unbelievable.
Yeah, it is. You should hear it.
I just think some left feet should be punished. But Fulham are up to 10th. They are in the top
Sorry,
half.
Germans, if you listen.
I'm not sorry. They don't deserve an apology.
Yeah, why?
Because they just don't. They can look after themselves.
You were praising them like
I love
10
them.
minutes ago.
I love
They're
them,
a
but
better
It's
version
just
of
so
us.
confusing.
Yeah.
they love us. They love us. We love them, really.
Yeah.
And they don't need our sympathy fish. They're doing fine without us.
There we are. You're gearing up for next summer, aren't you?
Looking forward to it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, there'll be a lot of love.
First game
between-
against Scotland.
There we are.
Isn't it?
Oh, yeah, of course.
Yeah.
But Fulham, they're 10th. They lead the West London pack in the Premier League, of course.
Yeah.
Fulham 10th, Brentford 11th, Chelsea at 12th. So there we are.
I mean, it's hard to think of a section of people in the world that would care about that.
Yeah.
Even people in West London don't
Yeah.
care about that.
I tell you who cares about it the most is Brentford.
Yeah, probably. But
Yeah,
most people in
definitely.
West London don't care about football anyway.
That's not true.
It is true,
You've
isn't
got
it?
4 teams in West London.
West London's the worst part of London, isn't it?
I grew up in
Yeah,
West
I
London.
know you did. That's why I'm
did
looking
you
at
look
Why
you.
he's looking directly at you.
Not a chance.
It is, Jim.
Yeah, it's not
Because
for
what?
me.
This is quite London
I
centric.
think we all agree Clapham is the worst part of London.
Well,
Well,
what?
I would argue
Oh,
that
lads, we are isolated. You're talking about sorry to German listeners. Sorry to everybody.
No, Marcus doesn't like it when you talk about localised.
Do you know?
stuff.
Do you know what's also terrible? Women.
No, right.
fish.
Let's go on the social media. This is super localised chat.
Yeah.
And Marcus, just forgive me for 1 second. There's a lot of chat about how North or South London's better. Which one's better? Nike did a big thing, didn't they, where they did
Yeah.
North London
Yeah, but
team
it's all,
versus
it's
South
all a
London.
bit silly.
It is because the worst part of London is West London. And
It's-
North
it-
and
yeah.
South should get together because West London are the real enemy.
The way
No,
I
it's
see
all
it,
very silly.
all of South is Croydon, West not interested,
Yeah.
East good, North best.
Nah,
Yeah.
Jim's wrong on that, I think.
Of course he is.
And I think people should get involved. If they know anything about London, they'll listen to this show. Fucking make your feelings known.
I just apologise to everybody there.
But you live in West London. You're
I
from
live in
West
South
London.
West London, if we're going to be specific.
Yeah, but you guys have got
So
sympathy for
Croydon.
that part of it.
Hmm?
No,
So
West
Croydon.
Norwood. West Norwood's
Look,
not fucking-
look, all I know is that London's geography is bloody awful, and Jim is very much displaying that right now. What's more north, Jim, Croydon or Bournemouth? You see, he doesn't know.
He doesn't know.
Doesn't know. Does not
Don't
know.
let him answer, 'cause
No,
he'll just embarrass
he doesn't
himself.
know. I think we've heard enough from Jim.
Yeah.
Thank you very much.
Yeah.
But speaking of teams in West London, did you see that the Premier League clubs this week voted to restrict the amortisation of player contracts? Now, this, I say West London because Chelsea have been doing that quite a lot, famously or infamously, whatever you want to word it. So Todd Bowley will have to have a rethink, although Chelsea did vote to stop this,
That's
didn't
hilarious.
they? Proper
What-
drawbridge
so
up.
funny.
Rate that.
Yeah.
Rate that.
So funny. I mean, because
We've got what we came for. Thanks very much.
because the UEFA rule changed anyway. They had no choice but to if they want to compete
Yeah.
in European competition again at some point. Which maybe they don't based
Yeah.
on how they're playing.
So
but
It might not be their choice.
I should explain. So what that means is, so when Chelsea was signing players to get round FFP, they would sign them over, on an 8-year contract or something like that, and obviously spread the payments over that amount of time. Now there would be clauses in the contract so players could get out of it and so on. So any transfer fee now can be spread over a maximum of 5 years. That's 5 years, not 1 hour. That's 5 years.
the contract can be as long as they want, can't it? But the
Yes,
amortization
exactly,
can-
yeah.
Sorry, the transfer
Yeah.
fee. Yes, we should say. So some clubs reportedly voted to backdate the punishment to the start of the year, which would have increased Chelsea's amortization charge on 11 summer signings from 24 million to 84 million.
Which has a big impact on financial fair play and stuff like
Yeah,
that.
and that would have. I mean, they would have been in Everton territory there.
Yeah, I mean, it's
but that's not happening.
no, it would have been deeply unfair because Chelsea played within the rules at the time that the rules existed in that
Yeah.
way.
Yeah.
I do think it's hilarious that a number of clubs are like, "No, fuck that though."
yeah.
Yeah,
But this, I mean, as you said at the top of this, like, it's basically, it looks like, even though there's the devil in the detail, as Jim said, it looks like Chelsea have gone, right, cheers very much.
yeah.
Thank you.
Don't worry about that.
Yeah.
We won't do that again.
I mean,
Fine,
to be honest
but
with you, and I think FFP is probably a good thing, but you could argue that with FFP, those who'd already done all that got ahead. They bring in FFP,
Well, yeah.
and then it locks it in.
We are starting to see, absolutely, yeah. We are starting to see now it becoming a bit more of a factor in terms of teams who are near the limit of it and maybe can't spend as recklessly as they once did in various windows. And this is kind of what we wanted, right? So
Yeah, well, Jim, and if they do spend recklessly and they break the rules, then some teams will be punished.
And now it's time for this.
Dean Smith also says you're an encyclopedia of football.
A what?
An encyclopedia of football.
I don't know what that means.
What that means is it's time for Jack's Encyclopedia. We've had an update from Jimmy to the B.
Yeah, nice.
Vish, you are still lineal champion.
Yay.
Luke, you're bottom of the table. So
well,
it's
surprise. That's a surprise.
You
Yeah.
have won this game a few times before.
I don't need your charity.
you're talking yourself down. It's a tactic.
I
respect
could take the title from
Take
Vish
some
today, though,
pressure
right? I could actually take
possible.
the title.
Well, he's the lineal
Yeah.
champ, so absolutely.
Yeah, that'd be fucking amazing.
So if you've not listened to this brilliant game before, it is essentially a simple game of categories. If one of these mugs goes too slowly, I will play Gary Neville's orgasm, which leaves them 7 seconds to answer. Marcus took the title with a landslide 2-0-0 victory last week, so let's see if anyone can be better than that. First category, if you guys are ready.
Ready.
Managers that have managed over 300 Premier League games. That's 17 managers. So that's managers that have managed over 300 Premier League games. Marcus, as you
Not
won
currently,
last week,
like in the history of the league.
just in the history of the league.
Okay.
So, Marcus, as the winner from last week, we're gonna put you first.
Sir Alex Ferguson.
So Alex Ferguson is correct.
Stick your neck out. Arsene Wenger.
Also correct.
Harry Redknapp.
Harry Redknapp is correct.
David Moyes.
David
Oh, good one.
Moyes is also correct.
Mourinho's got to have done it. Jose Mourinho.
Jose Mourinho has indeed done it.
Get him.
Jürgen Klopp.
Jurgen Klopp.
Nice.
I'll have Sam Allardyce.
Oh, good.
Oh,
Love
yes,
that.
you will.
That's a
I
lovely
think I'm
result.
gonna go for Sean Dyche.
Sean
Yeah.
Dyche. Ooh.
Mate, I can't believe I had him him
Yeah,
down.
that's a surprise.
I am surprised at that.
Fuck's
And Luke,
sake.
thanks for jumping
Out.
on that grenade for us.
I'm not surprised because it's me.
Vitushin.
I don't know why that freaked me out. Boo. Alan Kirbishley.
Alan Kirbishley is correct.
Nice. Well played. Ah, that's put me back on the back
It
foot.
has.
I'll have Kenny Dalglish.
Kenny Dalglish, he says.
Yeah.
Fish, back to you.
Ooh. Yopty.
These are all noises, and here's another one.
Yeah.
to give Chelsea a place in the Champions League final. The headline has been written.
Ron Atkinson.
I think he got it in.
Ron Atkinson
He
is not right.
did.
It can't be right.
Yeah, it's
Okay.
not right, unfortunately.
Okay, so one
Marcus,
last
you're
go.
back in.
Yeah, I should have probably been thinking of one.
You got it all that time.
Yeah.
Oh, man, come on.
There's some gettable ones here.
Hit fucking Curry, no what a cunt.
Alan Pardew.
Come
Alan
on,
Pardew. Come on, Pardew.
Did it dance? Did it dance?
I haven't won it yet. No, neither had he, I suppose.
That's the point.
If I do the dance, he'll win it.
Yeah, so Alan Pardew. Vish, over to you, sir. Interesting
Ooh.
noise.
This Steve Bruce.
Torres to give Chelsea a place.
Oh,
Bruce.
Roy Hodgson.
oh, nice.
Oh.
Nice, very nicely done. Who else? Is
Throwing the
old?
pressure right back on you
Who
there.
is an old man?
You got 5 men left.
This is a good round. You
It
boys have done
has.
well.
It's Torres to give Chelsea a place in the Champions League final. The headline has been written.
Ian Holloway? No, it's not a
Holloway.
minute.
No. So
Good
you
point
actually
to
had
Marcus.
6 men left. That is a point to Marcus. So the men you had left were brother Brendy Rodgers, Mark Hughes,
Yeah.
Martin O'Neill,
Great shout.
Rafa Benitez, Tony Pulis,
Oh.
and Joe Kinnear.
Oh, Joe.
Wow.
Blimey, that's a surprising one, isn't it?
I'm well surprised Dyche isn't in there, but what are you gonna do?
I had him down.
I should have gone for Rafa.
Yeah, you're up first, big boy.
Okay, here we go.
You're
What
on
is it,
serve.
Jim?
So this is players
Get me out of the way.
that have been sent off in the Premier League this season. 31 players. Naughty
really?
boys. Naughty players.
Very naughty.
So, yeah, off you go, Luke.
In the Premier League,
In the Premier League
blimey.
this season.
Lewis Dunk.
Lewis Dunk.
I'm out of ideas.
is correct.
Christian Romero.
Christian
Oh, good one.
Romero is also correct.
Can I have him as well? Yeah.
It's Torres to give Chelsea a place in the Champions League final. The headline has been
Raheem Sterling.
Raheem Sterling is incorrect.
Why can I not think of that?
It's a tough one. It's a
It is
really
really
tough
tough.
one.
It's ridiculous. I can think of a number of people getting booked, and then straight away, and I was like, I can't think of their names, and that's crucial.
So over to you, Luke. He's bought you some time there.
I think. Has Alexis McAllister been sent off?
Alexis McAllister has been sent off. Correct.
Ooh. Curtis Jones.
Curtis Jones, he says, correctly.
Well done. That's a really good guess.
Really good one.
played.
Trying to think of them walking off the pitch, looking annoyed.
Don't show you're working.
It's Torres to give Chelsea a place in the Champions League final. The headline has been written.
Marcus Rashford.
That was in Europe, wasn't it?
Yeah.
It was, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Shit.
It was.
Yeah.
So
Vish needs to get one.
take it.
For the point for the round.
Destiny Udogie.
Destiny Udogie, he says.
That was the one I
Well
couldn't think of
done.
the name of.
Points of Vish.
So
Mother played.
1-1. 1 to Marcus, 1 to
Yeah.
Vish.
Give us a selection of the others. Don't give us all of them.
Reece James, Takahiro Tomiyasu, Tim Ream, Virgil van Dijk, Yves Basuma, Fabio Vieira, Diogo Jota, Conor Gallagher,
Yeah.
Naughty Ashley Young.
It's easy
Loads,
now,
of,
isn't it?
loads of them. Thugs.
I
a lot
can't
of
believe it.
them.
I knew
All
there
these
was
thugs.
I knew there was Fulham ones, and I was pissed off when I was at the game when Ream got sent off.
Oh, there we go.
Oh.
Bassey
All right.
as well.
Last one.
Maybe.
Fish first, I guess.
It
Wait, it
is.
might not be the last one, Luke. If you can do something.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Let's be honest.
Wait, I don't like this. You're
No, I like it. Do it again.
So the,
I'm the fucking Man United of this game.
the third category is players who have made over 200 Premier League appearances for Liverpool. That is 19 players.
Wow.
You'd think it'd be more, wouldn't you?
Yeah.
Steven Gerrard.
Steven Gerrard is obviously correct.
Jamie Carragher.
Yeah.
Jamie
Well done,
Carragher
lads.
is
Fucking hell.
also obviously correct.
Mo Salah has to have.
Mo Salah has.
Yeah.
He has to have. Yeah. There's no
Jesus.
debate about that.
Allison.
Allison, he says.
Oh wow, how have I done that?
Big news for you, Speller. That's
Yeah,
massive
How
news.
have I done
You
that?
could win the belt
Big,
here.
big opportunity.
You could win the belt.
Could do.
The only thing standing between you and the belt is me.
Give me
Okay.
a name.
Robbie Fowler.
I'll go for the bravest boy of them all, little Mickey Owen.
Little Mickey Owen, he says. 216.
Oh, he only just snuck in there
He
then.
did, yeah.
Only just snuck in there. I will have. I'll have Steve McManaman.
Fine. It's fine.
That's fine. That's absolutely fine. And no, there's nothing in there. That's fine. That's absolutely fine in there. There's nothing in there.
Give me
That's
a name.
fine. I'd like my 7 seconds, please. Thank you very much. I'm going to go Trent Alexander-Arnold.
Correct.
Well done. I'll have Sadio Mane.
Sadio Mane, he says.
Oh, you fucking dancer. Yes! That's a point to me, right?
It is.
You can have Bobby Firmino as well if you want. You've got another one. Cheers.
I do.
Oh, Marcus.
I had
Tell you
Mane.
what.
I crossed it out and went for Alisson.
The silent majority
will be punished.
The silent majority out there who love me. I'm very happy with
Here
that.
we go. We're back in.
Fucking come on. I'm going for the belt.
How many others was there? A number?
So you
Few
could
others.
still have had Andy Robertson, David James, Dirk Kuyt, James Milner, Jamie Redknapp, John Arnorisa, Jordan Henderson, Lucas Leiva, Martin Skirtle, Pepe Reina, and Sammy Hippier.
Oh, man.
Pepe
The answer to those kind of questions is always James Milner.
Absolutely,
James
yeah.
Milner.
Absolutely.
James Milner. Right, we're back
James
in.
Milner's done 500 Premier League appearances for fucking
6
Burnley.
clubs.
Wait, this could be yours, Luke.
Could be. I could get the belt. What a twist.
Here we go.
I'm so excited.
Start back with Marcus, doesn't it?
It's what?
Starts back with you, doesn't it?
If this,
does.
if this category is Pompey's FA Cup journey in 2008, I'll probably still not win.
I really hope it is because it'll be a sick
Pressure on it, yeah.
Right. So, tiebreaker. It's a juicy one. Premier League managers in charge on the first day of the 2010-2011 season. Man
Fucking
United
hell.
won the title that season.
Okay. Is it me first?
It is you first.
Probably go Sir Alex Ferguson.
Yeah, cheers.
Is Alex Ferguson? Yes, Alex Ferguson is in there.
Okay, so I'll tell you who else has simply got to have been in there, and that's Arsene Wenger.
That is also correct.
Unlucky fish.
Ready with Gary Neville.
Neville him.
10-11.
Hang on. You're getting close to being Nevilled here.
It's Torres to give Chelsea a place in the Champions League final. The headline has been written.
Brendan Rodgers.
Always in there.
Brother Brendy.
Gotta be.
I'm not seeing his name.
No, then. Unlucky.
No.
I'll tell you what, I've kept pretty quiet up till now. But I'll tell you something now, Vish. This belt's going to a new player. It's going to a new player. We're going to have a new champion.
10-11.
Bloody hell. So I've just written down the usual suspects, and I'm hoping one of them's in there. Harry Redknapp.
Harry Redknapp was at Spurs.
Yes!
Right, so my working is that
Ready with Gary Neville.
I just need to work out the year they won the Champions. Right, so
Come on, what's this?
I think
Torres to give Chelsea a place in the
Andre Villas-Boas.
Oh.
The headline has been written.
Marcus.
Yes! Take it.
Well done, Marcus.
Dagger to the heart.
Was Di Matteo in there?
Roberto Di Matteo was in there.
Oh,
yes.
that's Chelsea. I was trying to work out the year they won the Champions League.
Was Roy
Fuck
Hodgson
it.
there?
Tell
So
me.
you could have had
Hodgson?
Alex McLeish, Avram Grant, Carlo Ancelotti, Chris Hughton, David Moyes, Ian Holloway, funnily
David
enough.
Moyes, you've got to go for the old guard.
Kevin McDonald, who was Villa caretaker manager,
right,
so I would have been amazing to get that. Mark Hughes was at Fulham. Mick McCarthy was at Wolves. Owen Coyle, Roberto Di Matteo, Roberto Mancini, Roberto Martinez, Roy Hodgson, Sam Allardyce,
Yep.
Steve Bruce, and Tony Pulis.
Yeah.
As soon as you went Ferguson,
I
it should have
had-
triggered Moyes, shouldn't
I
it?
just basically wrote down Allardyce, Hodgson, and Redknapp, and I thought I'm safe with those three.
Yeah.
VS
Do you know how
Barros
close I
came
was
in
going?
June 2011.
Yeah, I was going to go Di Matteo. I was
Yeah.
going to go Di Matteo. Fuck it.
It's quite funny that you fucked that. I've lost it down.
It's the hope that kills you, man. It's the hope that kills you so bad.
Oh, Luke Moore, thank you very much for listening to the Football Ramble.
Nah, fuck you for listening to this shit.
Oi, do you want to stay behind? Do you not want a weekend? Do you want me to keep the gate closed for you?
Yeah, close it. I don't deserve it.
Do you want to close it for everyone? Or just-
Yeah, I do. I
No,
want everyone to
I
be
can't
punished.
do that. I can't do that because the good people need to listen to the mailbag tomorrow.
That's true, and that's a big part of the
And
weekend.
that's the other side of the fence.
Yeah,
okay,
it's absolutely
so the
right.
gate is open.
Yeah.
The weekend is officially here, everybody. Get your swagger on. Follow us on X, TikTok, YouTube, and Instagram at Football Ramble. Don't forget to subscribe on your podcast.
There's some great stuff on X.
A lot of good stuff on there.
Yeah.
Wicked stuff on X. You can find that at twitter.com.
It's really improved.
Really great.
It's really improved since it changed its name. That was the missing ingredient, actually. Turns out.
All it was just a letter.
Yeah.
Thank you, Luke Moore.
Cheers.
Thank you, Mauricio Antharaja.
Look at that. Look at his face.
Thank you, Jim Campbell.
Thank you.
And thank you, me. See you soon.
Fucking sickening.
Cheers for watching another fantastic clip from the Football Ramble podcast. Make sure you click like on this video and subscribe to the channel, which means you will not miss a single upload.